Go to any boatyard in Europe right now and the travel lift hoists will be running around like London taxis because it's springtime, and for many that marks the start of the season. But here in Port La Forêt in Brittany it's particularly busy. This coastline is the heart of the French offshore scene. You only have to walk around the yard to see that. With everything from mini transat boats to Beneteau Figaros and IMOCAs all over the yard. But this beautiful and quintessentially French port is playing host to the first big event of the IMOCA season, with the start of the 1000 race. It's not the biggest of the offshore races, but for the 7 solo sailors taking part, it's an important one, as it provides the first opportunity to start working up boats and teams at the beginning of the 2026 season. And while the next Vendée Globe is not until 2028, this event is one of the stepping stones towards that global goal. And one team that is straight out of the blocks this season and ready to head offshore is the one that took victory in the last Vendée Globe, MACIF. But this time they have a different skipper, Sam Goodchild. And I started by asking what this season is all about for him and his campaign.
So this season is basically all aiming for the Route de Rome. So it's the second major event for us after the Vendée Globe.
And that's a solo event, isn't
Solo
it?
event, so 1st November. And so because it's kind of all driven by that, the races pre-season are solo races as well. So it ends up being the first time we're solo sailing since the Vendée Globe.
Right.
Which is, it's nice there's a bit of a gap between the two because it's obviously quite tiring. So yeah, we've got the Route de Rome, which is 1st November. Working backwards from that, we've got the Vendée Arctic in June, which is a race from Les Sables d'Olonne up to the Arctic Circle and back to Les Sables d'Olonne again. And then we've got the 1000 race, the Mille race, which is from Port La Forêt here on the 3rd of May. And it's about 1,000 miles out into the Atlantic and back again. And that will qualify us for the Vendée Arctic and for the Route de Rome.
Right, okay. And they're all solo races?
Yeah, they're all fully solo. There is I didn't talk about the Défi Azimut. There's Défi Azimut in September, which is a smaller event, which we're solo with a media man on board. But all the other events, we're 100% solo. So,
right.
So yeah, back to...
And you're doing the Défi Azimut as well?
Yeah, we're doing the Défi Azimut, which is an event mainly based around the partners, and they come down and we do... There's a day of runs and then there's a day of sailing around the island, and there's a 48-hour single-handed race in the middle, but it's really a week which is focused around entertaining the people that make our project happen the rest of the year and when they can't come on board.
I mean, some people might look at that and go, okay, all season you've got 4 races. That doesn't sound like a lot when I look at my calendar, but I guess it probably doesn't feel like that to you, is it? Is that cramming quite a lot in? How does it...
I mean, it's offshore sailing, so it's, the short race is a week long or 5 days long, and then the Vendée Arctic is going to be between 10 days and 2 weeks, and the Route de Rome between 10 days and 2 weeks. So they're major events, really. And in between that, there's refit, there's training, there's going to be a summer refit as well. And the time goes pretty quickly, to be honest. We basically went in the water, a month later we got the first event, a month later we got the second event, a month later we come out the water for a refit, we get back in the water, and in 6 weeks it's the Route de Rome. So it kind of moves on quite quickly and quite nicely.
Yeah. So between those week events, you talked about going out training. How many days would you spend out on the water training in between those kinds of events?
It depends on the week, but we do a training session with the Pôle Finistère training group, where we're 4 or 5 boats with an organised training sessions, and they're 3 days. So you sail on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and there's debrief on Friday. So that's those weeks, and then the weeks in between they're generally technical sails. So new sails are coming online this year, so we'll do a few sails with new sails, checking out. You take time to make sure everything's got the right tension, the lashings and the battens, and like any old boat really. And those sort of weeks we'll sail anywhere between 2 and 4 times in the week, and so yeah, a day takes up 10 of the team's time basically for the whole day. So it's we maximise our resources, let's put it that way.
Yeah. Is it getting harder to do? Because the boats they seem to be getting more and more complex, particularly with the sophisticated autopilot systems, the kind of things you can do with the foils, the setup of the boat seems to be getting more refined and more complex. Does that take more time to set it up as a result?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the boat, it's a development class, so there is a large technical element to it, and the boat's getting more and more complex because there's more and more technology available, if you like, whether it's autopilots or foils or whatever it is. And it's always a balancing act between how much time do you spend in the shed or on the dock making your boat go faster on paper or technically, and then how much time do you actually go sailing to make sure it's not going to break on you and make sure you know how to use it. And yeah, it's a constant balancing act to that. And some year, I mean, this year Sheahan, for example, have cut their boat and 50% of their hull off, and they're rebuilding 50% of their hull.
Wow.
That's a big year. And this year, us on the other extreme have done very few changes to the boat, and are really hammering home the reliability and knowing our machine side of things. So it depends on the year and what you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Interesting. And how many? I mean, you may well have answered it in what you've just said, but I just wonder how much of the gains across the fleet. I mean, when you look at sort of the top end of the fleet, anyway, how many of the gains are coming from people sort of refining how they're sailing to their polos and refining the way that they handle the boat and that side of it?
I mean, yeah, we're going faster and faster. The 24-hour record's getting faster and faster with the same boat. The best example of that for me is the ocean race around the world in 2023. And we broke the 24-hour record on the second leg at 500 and something miles, and then broke the 24-hour record again on the fifth leg at 600 and something miles. Okay, we've gained 100 miles in 6 months, so something's changed, and it's not just the conditions. So
really, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's learning how to use the boat. They're pretty uncomfortable, and just getting uncomfortable becoming normal doesn't happen overnight, even if it happens fairly quickly. And yeah, we're just pushing the boats harder and harder, and so everything has to keep up with that, whether it's reliability, whether it's systems, whether it's us learning how to use the boat, whether it's the sails getting flatter and faster, and everything just goes in that same direction. And it is a combination of what you do to the boat and then how you use it.
You've been involved in the class for quite a while. Does it feel like that rate of change is faster now than it was, or is it plateaued off, or where are we on the curve, if it's a curve?
It's hard to know. I mean, there's obviously every 4 years new boats come online. The new boats, the next Vendée Globe, are going to start coming online in the next 2 or 3 months, and obviously we know a little bit in what direction that's going because we're designing a boat ourselves, and we obviously keep quite a close eye on what the others are doing, and so that obviously puts a big boost to the whole program as to what the new boats are going to do and the directions they're going in. So that's going to be exciting. And so when these boats go in the water, historically they always go faster, and then between going in the water and 18 months later, when you're taking the start your first major race, a Route de Rome or a Vendée Globe, you're going even faster again. So it goes up in steps. But I don't see it being any different than it has been from the last editions as to, so there's a big introduction of the foils, and this time there isn't introduction of foils, but we'll find other ways to go fast, don't worry.
What about the rules though? Because the rules change every now and then. Is that the rules set now between now and the next Vendée Globe, or will there be other rule changes in between?
So we vote the main rules every 4 years. So there's the rule, so a 4-year Vendée cycle. And so right now we're on the rules which are 2025 to 2028, and those rules were voted in 2023, worked on 2023 and voted in 24. And so right now we're starting to work on the rules for the cycle 2032 with the class, because it's a democratic class, it's voted, and there's a lot of projects involved, a lot of people involved, a lot of different things involved, so it takes time to get to these things, and there's a bit of a momentum behind these sorts of decisions, but they're starting to be worked on now as to what the 2032 boats are going to look like. So the question everyone asks is, are we going to have T-rudders or not?
I was just going to ask you, read my mind, that was going to be the next question. What do you think? Is there any view on that at the moment? Or?
No, it's really just being put on the table, and there are arguments for and there are arguments against, and everyone's got their own idea and thought, and I wouldn't be able to tell you now which way it's going to go. And, I mean, it'd be exciting, it'd be good. It'd be fun to go that way, but you need to make sure you don't kill the class in the process.
The risk is you split the fleet,
as the Volvo 70 did, or something, when they got too expensive and too complicated. And so it's not an easy balance to find, and especially since Trump came into power, the sponsors have been a little bit more hesitant to sign contracts. So it's trying to find that right balance. But for things at the moment. Yeah.
And it's interesting that the other end of the racing scale, it's size-wise anyway, certainly not extreme-wise. The mini transat boat was fully foiling went across the Atlantic. That was, I guess, you were all watching that, thinking, is this going to... I mean, he didn't win the race in the end, it turned out, but I mean, that was a bit unlucky from his point of view.
Yeah, well, I mean, he broke it because he was going too fast, I guess. I don't know the details of it, but I guess that's when you're pushing limits, you're finding limits as well, aren't you? And yeah, no, it's exciting, and I find it a little bit of a shame at the moment where we're all looking at Sheahan with their funny rudder system trying to fly badly when there's actually quite an efficient way exists. The system that works and the rest of the sailing world that everyone uses apart from us. And you just like, hang on a minute, we should either fly or not fly, but fly badly doesn't really make much sense for anyone, does it? So anyway,
it's tricky.
It's easy to criticise from in
and it's not, like you say, it's not an easy thing to resolve at all. No. As far as you mentioned you haven't done many mods to this boat this time around. What can you able to say what you have been doing over the winter?
There's constant evolutions in details. We've got new sails coming online. We're optimising bits and bobs. We've changed a few things ergonomically on board because I'm a little bit bigger than Charlie was and sail the boat a bit differently. But yeah, it's really been hammering home the reliability of the boat, and we've got 4 people in our design office, and they're 99% on the new boat, which is starting to be built this week, about 200 metres that way.
Really?
The mould got turned up yesterday.
CDK,
yeah.
Right.
The mould turned up yesterday, and I mean they're full time on that basically. So, putting all of our brains power into the new boat, if you like.
And when's that due to be launched?
Launched in 13 months' time, so June 27.
Right. Excellent. Well, you just got to behave yourself for the next 13 months.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And in case you were wondering how Sam got on in the opening race of the season, he smashed it, completing the 1,000-mile race in 4 days and 22 hours, winning it and finishing over 50 miles in front of the next boat. It's early days and there's plenty of stiff competition ahead, but Goodchild has got off to a cracking start in a busy season.